نحن أصحاب المعاني لسنا أصحاب الألفاظ. الألفاظ الجوفاء لا تجدي. انظر إلى المعنى.
He is asked that when we see that there are gatherings that take place between the people, and in these gatherings the speech isn't really connected to innovation, but they are just general worldly affairs. So discussion of worldly affairs are taking place between people, between Muslims, and there's no connection to do with the religion. What is the ruling on this type of interaction? So the Shaykh, he speaks first of all, in the first part of his answer, he's speaking in the context of gatherings between the people of the Sunnah. So in other words, when we meet together, we're not meeting together for a lesson, we're not meeting together in the masjid, but we're just meeting because of a circumstance or a reason. How do we behave, how do we interact in this type of gathering? So in this part of the answer, the Shaykh says, it is desirable between the Muslims in general, and the people of the Sunnah specifically, that whenever they get together, their gatherings should be full of reminding each other in issues of Tawheed and in Sunnah and in fiqh, in matters of jurisprudence, so that the gathering, wherever they may be, is a gathering around which the angels, they are present and they lower their wings. They surround the gathering. And that mercy and tranquility may descend upon them. This is how the gatherings of the people of the Sunnah should be. And as for the worldly gatherings, overwhelmingly we find that they are never free from qeel and qal, this and that, and wasting of time, and these issues which harden a person's heart. So it's desirable for a person of knowledge, a person who is a student of knowledge, that when he sits in a gathering and he gives salam to the various people and he welcomes them and he invites them to listen to some ahadith, he brings some benefits, some fawaid, and he puts every group of people in their proper place, and he teaches them some of the rulings of the religion. This is how a person should be, and make sure that the gathering is blessed. And the Shaykh gives examples of where this might be. For example, you might be present in a walima, you might be present in an aqiqah, you might be present in certain gatherings which tend to take place every now and then. In these kind of situations, a student, he should give them salam, ask for barakah upon them, and he should ask them how they are, and then after this he should, if he sees that they're going to involve themselves in issues and speaking about qeel, waqal and so on and so forth, then he takes the initiative and he makes them remember Allah, and he should have an expansive chest and try to accommodate them and try to steer the discussion and the direction in which it will be of benefit. This is how a person should be with the people in general, because amongst them are people of the Sunnah, amongst them are just general people who are just upon whatever they are upon. His aim is to draw them and bring them to guidance, and he should use this way and behaving in his behavior. He should have a certain tact and a way by which he achieves this objective, because the aim is to guide and direct the people. It's not just a matter of we just cut off completely and there's no interaction. No, a person has to be a person in his chest. He has to be expansive and accommodate the people to a degree where he can bring about certain benefit. So the Shaykh, after this, after the questioner then clarifies, are you speaking about sitting with the people of innovation or the people of the Sunnah? So the Shaykh then continues now to explain the interaction with the people of innovation specifically. So he says, when a person of the Sunnah, he has a need that needs to be fulfilled, and it can only be from someone who is a mubtadi'. There's no harm in this. And the Shaykh is alluding here to, for example, he gives some examples where if you need to buy something, you need to do some trade with a person of innovation, you need to sell, you're doing trade, you sell things to the Muslims in general, and it might mean you sell to people of innovation. These are situations that you find yourself in by necessity. So this type of interaction, there is no harm in this, it's permissible, la ba's bihi. But as for when it is a gathering and a meeting which is done with qasd, with intent, it is sought out to sit with them and so on and so forth and spend time with them and speaking with them about general issues, then this is a khata, this is a mistake. This is هذا لا يجوز. This is not permissible, because this now comes back to the general rule that we started off at the very beginning. The general rule is to avoid sitting with the people of innovation in general. And then there are tafsilat that come after that. So then the Shaykh just makes a point in general. He says that the people of the Sunnah, they should have a siyasatul hasana, that they should have a good method and way of dealing and interacting with the people. Why? Because the people of the Sunnah are like a white hair on a black ox. A single white hair on a black ox. This is the reality of the people of Sunnah. If you go to every town and every city on this earth, you always find that the people of the Sunnah are very, very few indeed. And because of this, they have to be very, the way that they behave, the way that they interact with the people has to be, they have to have a certain way and a methodology behind which the objective is to draw the people to themselves and not to make the people flee from them. So this is how a person should behave with wisdom, with wisdom, whilst he adheres to these usul.